Welcome to springtime in the Rockies. Beautiful Boulder, Colorado, blanketed by 4 inches of overnight snow. Not unusual, but unlucky. But the show goes on. The Buffaloes spring scrimmage in Folsom Field just freshly plowed. The Deion Sanders era here at CU will never, ever be dull.
We got a few positions already taken care of because I'm bringing my luggage with me. And it's Louis. I'm coming. We're going to outwork them. We're going to out-recruit them. We're going to out-scout them. Baby, we're coming. I don't know if y'all know it, but we're going to win. I don't know if you feel it, but we're going to win. I don't know if you can see it, but we're going to win. You got to understand, we're going to win right now. I just want you to know we're on the way. Not to compete, but to win. Not to show up, but to show out. Not to be among the rest, but to be the absolute best. Baby, we're coming. When you get in that stadium, you better get in there early because time to kick off consumes. Baby, we're coming. Do you understand it? Do you feel that? Do you understand the intensity, the excitement, the adrenaline, the rush that I got right now that I can't wait till this thing kicks off because we are coming.
And the moment is here, the showcase event in the 5-month tenure of Deion Sanders at Colorado. Welcome to the Buffaloes Black and Gold Spring Scrimmage, presented by Aflac. An event unlike any I've seen in my years covering college football. Folsom Field, just about packed. 40,000 plus singing the fight song off a 1-11 season, arguably the worst team in the country last season. Welcome, Chris Fowler, Robert Griffin III, Quint Kesnick will join us. Welcome to something. It's going to be unusual, intriguing, just like everything about Deion Sanders, the most fluid roster in the history of the sport on display. RG3 here today.
Yes, it is, and if there was any coach in the country that Colorado needed, it was Deion Sanders. This team hasn't won a national championship since 1990, has only won more than 5 games once in the last 15 years. But if you look at this crowd, you would think they're a perennial powerhouse. That's the prime effect that you talk about, Chris. And Deion is part mentor, part teacher, part evangelist, but he's always marketing and always recruiting. The days of Colorado football being boring are over.
They've never seen a spring crowd like this. We've rarely seen a spring crowd. These folks paid to get in here. Deion Sanders, off 2 exceptional seasons at Jackson State, championship football there, says he wants to win now. You'll get a glimpse today of what you'll see when they open the season against TCU. But here is Coach Prime doing his unique brand of coaching to his guys during warm-up.
When you go back in, you better have on both sleeves. We don't do that. We don't do that in practice. Why you do that today? That cat gonna come out here on one sleeve. I said, no, we don't even do that in practice. Why would you do that in the game? One linebacker, one leg up, one leg down. I said, what is wrong with you? It just turns out. Why would you do that? It's time. 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 Hey guys, let's go out there and play. Give it your best. Give it your all. Give it your all. Exhaust yourself. I want you to have to be carried off this damn field because of exhaustion. That's how hard I want you to go. It's time. It's time. Let's go. Let's go. Break it down.
It is time. You'll see a whole bunch of new faces, including Deion's son Shedeur at quarterback. The Buffaloes spring scrimmage in sub-freezing Boulder coming up.
Aflac. Seriously? Now there's a hole in your defense. Look at the size of that. Is that a goat?
You talking about me?
I think this goat is saying gap.
Must be talking about the expenses health insurance doesn't cover.
So who's talking about the money Aflac pays to help close that gap?
Aflac, Dad! Aflac, Dad!
It's about to go down, baby.
Get help with expenses health insurance doesn't cover.
Aflac
Is an official sponsor of ESPN College Game Day.
A rousing introduction. The CU Buffaloes 2023 take the field with Deion Sanders, known to everyone here as Coach Prime, and this is an energy that is really hard to describe and unprecedented off the kind of season this team had in 2022 and really the recent history of this program. The fan base starving for a winner, and this man has promised to deliver it. Quint Kesselring joins us, and he visited with Coach Prime a little bit earlier.
Coach, how'd you deal with the weather issue overnight and this morning?
A lot of prayer, a lot of deliberation on what to do, what's in the best interest for the students, what's in the best interest for the kids that are playing. We don't want anybody on this wet surface to sustain an injury, but you know what? We prayed about it. We thought about it. I talked to a multitude of them, and they said, Coach, let's do it. Let's do it. So we're not going to have a full all-out scrimmage. We're probably going to have a speed day, which is a practice, probably hour 15, hour 30, and just to get some things done. So the wonderful fans that still attending this wonderful event to get what they want, and let's hope.
I was on campus yesterday. The energy is off the charts.
Yeah.
What's your reaction to this crowd?
Absolutely love it. This is unbelievable. You're talking about a body of people that have not only sold out the spring game, but have sold out the entire season. I absolutely love it.
What are your expectations for this group right now? You were honest. You said there's going to be a little bit of an overhaul here.
Everybody know that. I mean, if you have a whole new coaching staff, what you think is going to be the result of the kids? You got to get some kids in that have your identity and understand how we do things. Smart, tough, fast, disciplined, with character, at a speed and an understanding of all we want to do is win, dominate, graduate, and be pillars of the community.
You ain't too hard to find. What's that mean?
Ain't hard to find. Ain't hard to find. If you're looking for me, ain't hard to find. We have a plethora of recruits here today. And all I can tell you is, I went hard to find.
The third team offense versus defense.
Well, this is an unbelievable rebuilding job. It's going to be a roster that has maybe 70 new faces by the time they kick it off against TCU. In 2022, it was the worst defense in the country, worst against the run, the worst tackling team. Offense averaged 15 points a game. We could go on and on, but you get the idea. It's a lot to do here.
Yeah, there's a lot to do, but at any level of football, you got to have your quarterback. In the Colorado Buffs, they have that in Shedeur Sanders. He's a guy that can do it inside the pocket, outside the pocket. Great decision maker, and one of the best quarterbacks in the Pac-12, even now today. So I think that's going to be really cool. And the fans are also going to get a shot at a guy like Travis Hunter, #1 recruit in his class coming out, and Dylan Edwards, the commit who flipped from Notre Dame. Coach told us he's one missed tackle from hitting his head on the goalpost in the end zone, so let's hope we get to see him in the open field today.
Yeah, the field conditions playing into this. It's going to be an interesting format, changing on the fly. You've never seen anything like this, but just roll with us. We're going to call the game from the field. We'll have a lot of fun. They'll kick it off after this break in Boulder, Colorado. The first look at Deion Sanders 2020.
Meet the Ninja Double Oven, a top rapid oven for super fast cooking and a bottom air fry oven for crispy favorites. It's 2 ovens in the space of 1 for double meals. With FlexStore technology, you can cook 2 meals at different times and temps for double cravings. Flavor Seal prevents flavor crossover for double delights, sweet and savory. And with Smart Finish, all your food is ready at the same time for double the praise at the table. The Ninja Double Oven, the newest addition to the Ninja Oven family.
Health insurance commercial, take 1.
One more. I got this. Take 37. Cut! I don't actually play tennis. I'm just an actor in a commercial. Most insurance companies don't know me, but Humana does. When I was diagnosed with COPD, they helped me manage it and keep my medication costs low. Even got me playing harmonica to help my lungs.
Motorcycle scene, take 1.
I can't ride this thing either.
Better care begins with listening. Humana, a more human way to healthcare.
This is for those who've been waiting. Not patiently, but deliberately. Waiting for a more considered approach to an electric vehicle. And the experience that comes with it. The first ever all-electric RZ. This is electric, powered by Lexus.
The Stanley Cup playoffs continue with a critical Game 3. Down 2 games, could Jack Hughes ignite a Devils comeback? Could Chris Kreider and the Rangers take control of the series? Yeah, that could happen. Devils-Rangers, tonight on ABC and ESPN+.
Trinity Thomas is the best in NCAA gymnastics, maybe even in the world.
Oh, did she drill that? Oh, my goodness.
Fantastic. There it is. Oh, my gosh.
Feels like a change is coming.
YouTube is the new home of NFL Sunday Ticket.
Sign up now and get $100 off. Watch all your favorite NFL teams' out-of-market Sunday afternoon games all season long exclusively on YouTube and YouTube TV. Sign up now.
Lily! Welcome to our third Barkery.
Oh, I can tell business is going through the roof.
But seriously, we need a reliable way to help keep everyone connected from wherever we go.
Well, at AT&T, we'll help you find the right wireless plan for you, so you can stay connected to all your drivers and stores on America's most reliable 5G network.
That sounds just perfect.
Terrierific.
I Labrador you.
Round of applause.
AT&T 5G is fast, reliable, and secure for your business.
I'm done with that. Next week or?
What? Honey, did you see that? Come on.
ESPN College Football is presented by Aflac. Get help with expenses health insurance doesn't cover.
You're watching the Pac-12 on ESPN. Welcome back to Boulder, Colorado, for the CU Buffaloes spring game as the snow flurries have returned. Quinn Kesnick, this is a crazy atmosphere.
You know, they sold out season tickets for next season. There's over 40,000 people here today. I walked campus yesterday. The energy, optimism, and hope around Coach Sanders and this program is palpable. It's more than palpable. All shapes and sizes. I saw a baby wearing a Prime t-shirt. I saw a fan from South Dakota who's come here for this moment. It's hard to fully describe the Prime effect, but I think you feel it.
Well, this is as excited a person as anybody. 98-year-old Peggy Copham, a CU superfan for the last 80 years. She lost her twin sister Betty a few years ago. But Peggy is as fired up as ever. Deion Sanders paid a visit to her house. And what a moment for her. She's seen some good times. She's seen the bad times. And now she has seen, she hopes to rebirth this program with the arrival of Coach Prime. RG, these folks are on their feet, singing. The snow is flying. This is a wild scene.
This is not what we expected. Obviously, we want it to be a spring game, but where's the spring at? It looks like a winter game out here, but the fans still showed up. This is unbelievable, Chris. Unbelievable.
Well, one of the newcomers is Jace Feely. He's a kicker. They got out of the portal. He will boot it away. Dylan Edwards, the guy we talked a little bit about, the running back who's the four-star recruit, flipped from Notre Dame to Colorado, is back in the return position. They will not have a full kickoff return here as you'd expect in a spring game.
Exactly. Got to point out that Jace Feely, that's Jay Feely's son. He's got a very interesting story about how he got here. We'll tell that a little bit later.
At altitude, you'd expect most kickers to reach the end zone, and Edwards, 1 on 11, will take it back right at the middle. So this will not count.
Hey, it counts to the fans. That's all that matters, right?
Well, Edwards is a dynamic individual running back. The kind of speed at that position they've not seen around here.
Yeah, 4.3 speed coming out of high school. I mean, I wasn't even that fast coming out of high school. These kids are so advanced now. It's quite amazing. But like Coach Prime told us this week, want to see that guy get in the open field, but it's going to be up to that offensive line today to show that he can make some plays.
Now it's Anthony Hankerson, another guy who'll rotate in at running back, who's back to receive another kickoff. Cristiano Palazzo booted away. This is the plan. The format, unique and very much in flux. They'll do a few kickoff returns, and then we'll get to the offense. It'll be the number one offense, gets the number 2 defense. And look at Hankerson go.
There you go, Hankerson. Show him them high knees, baby. Let's go. As you said, Chris, a unique format, but it's Deion Sanders. Coach Prime, what's not unique about everything that this guy does?
Well, this is, he hopes, a showcase, a glimpse of things to come. There'll be many, many more new faces on this team by the time they open against TCU, the runners-up last season in Fort Worth. It's a tough assignment. It's a brutal schedule, and there's still many more guys to join the team here. But this is Shedeur Sanders, 2 years of eligibility. We talked about his skill set, and he's in an empty backfield to start this spring scrimmage.
Yes, this offense I'm very familiar with. It's exactly what I ran in college at Baylor University. So I want to see how Shedeur works it.
And he gets the pass right away to Travis Hunter, the two-way player, his teammate at Jackson State, who'll be tackled after a gain. Shadour's statistics were spectacular, very accurate passer, rarely threw interceptions.
Yes, a great decision maker with the ball, which is what you need to be inside of this offense.
There goes Dylan Edwards. Saw what he could do, breaking tackles into the secondary and knocked down hard after a big gain. Yeah, this is the number one offense against the number two defense.
And you're going to see this offense going at breakneck pace. They are not going to try to let this defense recuperate. Great job by the offensive line getting set.
And there's a slant. Hunter makes the catch. Yeah, Sean Lewis, who was the head coach at Kent State the last 4 years, brought in to be the OC and bring this up-tempo dynamic spread attack.
And you can see it. Look, the defense is already second-guessing where they're supposed to line up. Shadur is at the line of scrimmage telling everybody what they got, and now they're running the play.
You've already seen Hunter get a couple of touches. That's what the fans came to see.
And you see that gray jersey on. That's it's because he's playing both ways today.
You also play some corner. They get it in the flat, and the catch is made by Louis Passarello, the tight end. Brett Kesnick on the unique scoring system on this unique day in Boulder.
After a week of exchanging emails with the folks from Colorado, it was left in our hands, and we came up with a Knox Hendricks scoring system. Okay, this is state-of-the-art stuff. Robert Griffin III was instrumental in its development, where we're going to award points based on a bunch of things. Touchdowns, obviously, chunk plays for the defense, sacks and turnovers, and we're going to score this one out.
Well, it's 2-0 right now thanks to the chunk plays, but this number one offense is threatening. That was a catch made by Montana Lamonius Craig, the top receiver on the CU team a year ago. Just 23 catches.
Yeah, you know, Chris, we talked about this. Some of the top numbers from last year's team would be like the third or fourth numbers on most teams around the country. You can't even stress how bad of a football team this was last year. But now you bring in a guy like Shadur Sanders. You get Dylan Edwards. You got Travis Hunter out there. And the rest of these guys that actually stayed from last year's team have raised their level of play. That's exactly what Deion wanted to see happen.
Number one offense in the red zone now. They hand it off inside. That's Hankerson. St. Thomas Aquinas High School, a powerhouse in Boynton Beach, Florida. This offense struggled. They played from behind constantly. No running game to speak of. J.T. Stroud was the quarterback here. He's since transferred to Arkansas State, but so many new faces. Sanders from the pocket delivers to the end zone, and it's a leaping touchdown caught by Travis Hunter. That's what the fans were hoping to see. The Jackson State teammates hooking up. 3 catches in the drive and a fast start for the number one offense.
And this is exactly what you want to see if you're Deion Sanders or you're any fan in the crowd right now. You want to see your best players show up and show out in the spring game. Put on a show. Right there, man, Hunter was so wide open. I don't know what happened. Had to be a messed up coverage on the back end, but we'll take it on offense.
Well, Shadur said the defense is not ready for us today, and that was the case in that first drive. Another ex-Jackson State player, Alejandro Mata, will kick the PAT. There's a lineman doing a face plant as he ran onto the field there. And Coach Prime sending him off. A little embarrassing moment for Carter Edwards, the freshman.
Yes, that was very embarrassing. 45,000 people saw it.
Well, eager to get your impressions as the next great quarterback on Shadur Sanders throughout the afternoon. We'll visit later on with Cordell Stewart as the PAT is blocked and it's scooped up. And they can return this. It's a live ball. Jeremiah Brown bringing it back the other way for 2 points for the defense. Do we factor that into our scoring system? That makes the score 8-6. We didn't expect to see that, but that's a tremendous play, the block and the return. Kick was very low, we have to say.
Yes, it was very low, but at the end of the day, you got to make plays in the spring game, and Jeremiah Brown with a nice scoop and score, running all the way back for this. I mean, I guess you would even call that a touchdown, right? That's more of like a 2-point conversion. Should be 2. We might have to modify the scoring system.
It's a moment for Jeremiah Brown in front of 40-some thousand people.
There you go. We got to modify the scoring system there. I don't know if they should get 6 for that. We'll deliberate and get back to the fans in a second.
All right, now we're going to see the number 2 offense. This is Ryan Staub. And Ryan Staub is a guy who should be getting ready for his prom in high school. In fact, he's going to it next week. He's an early enrollee, and he throws a slant and a huge hit over the middle. This is the number 1 defense is on the field here, and that hit was delivered by Trevor Woods, the safety. Jeanette Estes, wide receiver, made the catch. Staub, an impressive young guy, comes from California. He's running the number 2 offense. There'll be more quarterbacks vying for that role by the time the season starts. Another short pitch and catch, and they move to 6 against the number 1 defense here.
Yeah, Chris, and you're seeing this offense. At Kent State, it was more run-centric from the quarterbacks, but when you have quarterbacks that don't necessarily use their legs that often, you can use the short passing game to substitute some of those runs.
And there's another catch on the edge. That's Basha, the tight end.
And now we've seen some of these completions from Ryan Staub. Don't forget, look over here. We got Travis Hunter playing corner. You see him play offense in the previous drive with a touchdown. Now he's trying to lock down the outside.
Hunter will play both ways in the season, they expect, too. Sean Lewis is the offensive coordinator. We talked about the ultra-fast tempo attack. This is an offense you know very well.
Yes, and that fast attack is going to help them in this first year in the Pac-12 try to even the playing field with some of these teams that have the enormous size on the inside. Try to wear down that defensive line and have them thinking what's going to happen next because they're utilizing every part of the field.
So it's 3rd and 10 for this number 2 offense against the 1 defense. Staub scrambled and under pressure delivers a pass that falls to the turf, but they got in there. Pressuring him was Leonard Payne. So many new faces. This was a pass rush that did not exist in 2022. They had a total of 7 sacks, RG. 7 sacks, 16 individuals had more sacks last year than this team did. Think about that. So that's a desperate need from the portal.
And that's why they brought in a guy like Jordan Dominic from Arkansas who had 7.5 sacks on his own last year. I think Coach Prime realizes, hey, he said it. What you see today is not what it's going to be. And there he is right there. Coach Prime, look at him. Got the cowboy hat on. Nobody's got more drip than Coach Prime. Nobody. Come on, man. Look at you.
Well, this is a cool thing to be able to call a game from the coach right behind the quarterback. Wayne?
Hey, you got a sack. You got a sack. That's big news around here.
We only had 9 last year, so that's great news. I like that. This is fun, isn't it?
Hey, Shedeur looks sharp.
What did you expect? He's a Sanders.
He's a Sanders. You know, Deion said he.
I can't get over this crowd. First of all, I cannot get over this crowd.
This is unbelievable. Look at this. Look at this. They are unbelievable. Inclement weather, they don't care. Thank you, Rick George. I love you, man. Thank you for this opportunity. It's truly a blessing. This is unbelievable.
You are not hard to find, that's for sure.
Hey, that's what the shirt says.
I see Travis is playing a little O and a little D.
Travis plays everything. Travis does not tire. He's a one-in-a-lifetime athlete, and he loves the game of football. Hit it, hit it, hit it, hit it, hit it, hit it, hit it.
That's nice. That's nice. How good can Travis be, Coach?
Travis is so good. He has the potential to be a top 5 pick, offense or defense, whichever one the pro scouts are saying that he is. To me, he's both. And he's going to get an opportunity to play both. You heard that, Kamani? You heard that?
Travis is a young man.
McClain is here on the sidelines.
Yeah, he wants
Travis
to play
is
both.
here.
He says he wants to play both.
We got some shots of Travis playing basketball. He'll practice football, he'll go lift weights, and then he'll slam and dunk on some folks.
Intangible that I like for my defensive backs. I love those guys to be versatile, two-sport guys, especially a guy that can hoop. You show me a DB that can hoop, I'll show you a DB that got something.
Two-sport guys talking to the best of all time right here.
He is one of the best
Super
of all time.
Bowl and World Series.
Coach, what did you like about that first series from the number 1 offense?
It was concise. The tempo was unbelievable. They got up, got back to the huddle, got down, ran the play, not to the huddle, ran the play, and I loved it. Now, the defense got a little tired. They got a little winded, and we took advantage of it. Then they blew a coverage and leave Travis wide open. If you're going to leave, how do you leave Travis wide open? How do you leave Travis Hunter wide open?
You were in the end zone. You saw that happening before it happened.
I saw it before it happened. Yeah. Travis is unbelievable. I'm glad Shedeur found him.
Coach, you bring in Sean Lewis as your offensive coordinator. He runs an offense that I'm very, very familiar with. Actually, it's exactly what I ran.
Yeah, so that means Heisman? You're on Heisman, right?
I'm saying.
So that means that we got a possibility?
You have a possibility.
Thank you.
Yes,
That's all I wanted to hear.
You have a possibility. Yeah. And talk about the importance of bringing in guys that were former head coaches.
Man, you got to understand that insulates me. The Bible says that rod and that staff, they comfort me. That staff comforts me. I mean, we have so many guys, several guys that were former head coaches. We had several guys that coached at Power 5 situations, and we have so many guys with knowledge. Dennis Thurman is over there. Dennis Thurman, that's the OG. I had DT on my electric football set. That's how the OG Dennis Thurman is. You remember the electric football sets. All you younger kids, you got to explain that to them. RG3.
No, RG3.
Yeah, what I'm talking about. No idea what I'm talking about.
But this is a showcase, not just for the guys that are here, the guys you hope to have here.
Yeah.
With some portal guys on the sidelines. There are more you hope watching on TV.
Yeah, and we have a lot of commitments, but I don't think we're supposed to be able to talk about those, right?
You say what?
I don't think we're supposed to be able to talk about that yet because my office has been jumping in there.
No specific names.
We've been bankhead bouncing in the office, baby. It's so many commits. I love it. I love every minute of it. Look at this, man. How can you not?
And we saw some dogs, too. Yeah. There's some young men who are in civilian clothes today who are some dogs.
The ones are back. I got to go.
Let's go. Go do your thing, Coach.
Yeah, son, Shedeur back on the field here. The number 3 offense looked pretty good. That was Drew Carter, sophomore out of Oregon, who moved the ball down the field against the number 3 defense. But now we've got a look at Shedeur Sanders, Travis Hunter, and the number 1-0. Hunter with 3 catches, including the touchdown on the opening possession. And here comes a deep shot. Launch for Hunter, who is brought down. And this Pac-12 official not throwing a flag. Deion can't believe it. The crowd can't believe it.
Hey, Chris, I didn't even see that because I just got trucked by a referee. Okay, we're on the sideline trying to get back to the other side of the field, and my man hit me so hard, I don't know what's going on.
Well, they're going to show it here. The crowd looking for the flag as Hunter flashing his speed. And
I think that's what you
down there.
I think that's what you call pass interference.
That was Marvin Ham. That's a tough job for him to cover the speedster. Sanders pumps, delivers across the middle, and the catch is made by Caleb Mathis, coach's son. He's been around Neon and his dad since about age 4 or 5.
And it's paying off. You talk about Caleb Mathis being the son of Kevin Mathis. Deion described him as a guy that's where he's supposed to be, when he's supposed to be there, and that's a quarterback's best friend. Look for Shedeur to continue to utilize him.
They find him again off the play action, and Mathis brought down near midfield.
Yeah. I mean, it's very hard, Chris, to be an early enrollee freshman, come in and make an impact. And Deion's got a bunch of early enrollee freshmen who are going to be big time for them during the year.
Don't expect to see too many running plays, even though you know the running is going to be, they hope, a big part of the offense. The early enrollees are, again, guys who should be seniors in high school, but get involved in the winter conditioning and get the 15 spring practices, and they get to play in front of national TV and 40,000 folks here.
Exactly. And, Chris, I was an early enrollee freshman when I went to Baylor, and the amount of experience you get in that spring going up against men who some might be 25, some might be 26, it changes the way that you see the game, and these guys are getting a head start on their college career. I love it.
There's a flag and a false start. It's a free play, and Sanders just launches downfield into traffic, and the catch is made beautifully. That's Craig who went up over the defender, and Shedeur, knowing he had a free play, smartly took a shot downfield.
Yeah, Shedeur, he's got a little mentor by the name of Tom Brady. These guys, but right there, he kind of looked a little bit more like Aaron Rodgers taking advantage of that free play. I absolutely love it. And the contested catch by Craig, Lamonius Craig. I just love that name. It just rolls off the tongue so nicely.
Well, this is what the folks wanted to see. All eyes on Sanders Sr. and Deion Sanders' son, Shedeur, here, because it's a big part of the story. How is this guy going to look? There's, again, Mathis underneath in the crossing route, and he's knocked out. It'll be 1st and goal.
Yeah. And here's a replay of that last play, the catch to Montana, Lamonius Craig, going up and securing the ball right on top of the DB's head. Man. Yeah, I kind of tripped through that name, I ain't going to lie.
As expected, they run tempo, and the pass caught down at the 1 yard line, so just short. So Craig.
So let's try that again. Montana Lamonius Craig.
They got two number 15s out here. So
they got a lot of 15s, but sometimes you just get a little dyslexic when you're looking at these names.
As Hankerson knocked down short of the goal line.
Well, Chris, I tell you, if you're a Colorado Buff fan and you want to see offense, this is exactly the display you wanted. You see your number one offense going up and down the field. You saw your 3 offense go up and down the field. Like I said, this Colorado football is not going to be boring. That is for sure. How many games will they win? We don't know. That's up to them. But Deion is here to win now. If you haven't heard him, just go look at his social media page. He'll tell you every single time.
Hankerson scores standing up. Brought down just across the goal line. And this number one offense continues to click. The big downfield play on the free play set him up, and Shedeur Sanders over to say hello to the student section.
These guys are enjoying it. Just imagine if you're Shedeur Sanders and you come out from being at Jackson State and now you're out here in an environment that you're not used to. There's snow on the ground before the game starts, and he is enjoying this moment, enjoying the facilities, enjoying playing at the Power 5 level. I can't wait to see these guys during the season. We know one thing, it ain't going to be boring.
It's a tough schedule. We'll talk about what success might be as this afternoon unfolds.
I'll tell you one thing you sense is the tempo and the defense getting tired on some of these drives. And Sean Lewis, their offensive coordinator, told us, you think about 5,360 feet altitude, a mile high, thin air.
But 6,000 here.
Opponents come in here, and you play fast. All of a sudden, some D-lines are going to be gassed. He said they wanted to play so fast it induces vomiting in the opponent.
That's how he knows he's being successful. I've heard that
I'd like to not see that today
Inducing vomiting.
You don't want to see vomiting?
We got some sun coming out, by the way, here in a couple seconds.
We got to switch the other side.
We got a blue sky. Chris Fowler, we got a blue sky above us all of a sudden here.
I have no objection to that, Quinn. So Ryan Staub and the number 2 offense back on the field against this number 1 defense, which controlled the first time these two matched up with the sack to end the possession, and Staub overthrows downfield.
Now, Chris, I'll tell you, when you see some of those things happen inside of this offense, it's because there was a choice route by the receiver. And the quarterback and the wideout weren't on the same page, running vertical or sitting it down against zone. Staub's got to make sure he makes the right decision in those situations, get on the same page with his receiver.
It's a defensive line. As the completion is made on the outside, that's a catch and run by Estes. Defensive line was depleted. They lost a few more guys to the portal this week.
Yes.
This is the new reality of the sport to the nth degree here at Colorado. It's a revolving door. Guys are coming and going every day. They're very thin on that side of the ball, but this number 1 defense does feature, RG, some newcomers. Got tackle broken, and they're threatening here. Guys like Shane Cokes, who was a graduate of Dartmouth, played 3 years there. Jordan Dominic, who played at Georgia Tech and Arkansas, very productive. He's number 44. And we'll see what they can do. This is the final play of this first period. Staub is under pressure, and he'll be sacked again. That's points for the defense under our unique made-up-on-the-fly scoring system. We'll come back after this break and take a look at the Buffalo's road ahead in 2023 and much more of this unique Sanders-flavored spring scrimmage.
Good evening and welcome to the NFL Draft.
Just one pick away, baby.
One pick, and we can take the North.
One pick away from running through the whole NFC.
Not if you run into them boys. You got more burgers than rings.
The Raiders are going to run this draft.
Hot take, Joe. Not as hot as our next pick. Our season's on the clock. Our future's on the clock.
Our legacy is on the clock.
NFL Draft, Detroit Lions, Chicago Las Vegas Steelers. Select.
Yeah! That's the one! That's the pick!
The Chase Ink Business Premier Card is made for people like Sam who make
everyday products designed smarter.
Like a smart coffee grinder
that orders fresh beans for you.
Oh, genius. For more breakthroughs like that,
I need a breakthrough card.
Like ours, with 2.5% cash back on purchases of $5,000 or more.
Plus unlimited 2% cash back on all other purchases.
And with greater spending potential, Sam can keep making smart ideas
a brilliant reality.
The Ink Business Premier Card from Chase for Business. Make more of what's yours.
The first time you made a sale online with GoDaddy was also the first time you heard of a town named Dinosaur, Colorado.
I just got an order from Dinosaur, Colorado.
Start an easy-to-build, powerful website for free with a partner that always puts you first. Start for free at GoDaddy.com.
Get $1,500 purchase allowance on a 2023 Cadillac XT5 and XT6. Visit your local Cadillac dealer today.
Who drinks Budweiser? You know the type. The people who grind. The ones who don't back down. And always stay loud. The people who share the same spirit, share the same beer. This Bud's for you.
It was me the whole time.
Well done, ma'am.
What did I do exactly?
With Snapshot from Progressive, you get a personalized discount for doing exactly what you're already doing, being a safe driver.
Congratulations. This is a bowling trophy.
Yeah, it's the biggest one they had.
Okay, thanks.
Oh, and a good one.
Here, we seek the light of understanding, discover things we never thought possible, and build bonds that will last forever. Under these lights, the sound of thunder roars. Knowledge is gained, and hard work turns into innovations that advance our world, leading from the foundation of those before us. Together, we dare to be bolder. Shoulder to shoulder, our light shines on.
Well, year one for Deion Sanders' Buffaloes. The schedule's rough. You began in Fort Worth against the runners-up from a year ago. This team that won one game last year is going to have 5 games against 10-win teams from a year ago. They played 9 Pac-12 games, RG3. 5 of them are on the road, including the conference opener at Autzen Stadium.
Yes, the schedule by far is not an easy one, but there aren't very many easy schedules around all of college football, and it's a challenge that Coach Prime is willing to take on. And what better way to take it on than coming out here to Colorado and trying to reinvigorate this program with your son, who's one of the top quarterbacks in the nation.
We'll talk about what success looks like, but the games here against Nebraska and Colorado State after the opener are crucial to their success. What do you think, RG3? Numbers in the spring game are always kind of iffy, but Shadeur's performance so far.
Yeah, the numbers are always a little iffy, but you never want to have bad numbers as a starting quarterback in the spring game. And right now, Shedeur is looking really good. Got a 1 touchdown. He's got 119 yards. You guys can see him on the screen. And that's a very successful outing. He's spreading the ball around, high completion percentage. That's all you can ask for from your starting quarterback.
There's a groan from the crowd as Feely just missed a field goal attempt wide right. Now they'll let Mata have a chance. He's the one that had the extra point earlier, blocked and returned.
Robert, I want to ask you about Shedeur and the running component in this offense that we're not going to see today.
Yep.
What do you anticipate for him this fall in terms of his ability to run the ball?
Well, Quint, if you go back and look at any of Sean Lewis's tape from Kent State, he ran the quarterback a lot, a good bit, to make the defense understand that they have to defend all 11 guys on the field and not 10 with the quarterback not being a thought in the running game. Shedeur has not been a guy that's ran a ton over the course of his early career with the 2 seasons at Jackson State, but he can do it, and he has shown that in spurts. In this offense, I think all he has to do is show the opposing defenses that they can't call 2-man on 3rd and long because he can kill them with his feet.
We were talking last night, quarterbacks to me come in 3 categories when it comes to running: reluctant, willing, or enthusiastic. So you're saying Shedeur is a willing runner?
He has to be a willing runner, and I think he is, and he's shown that over the course of his career so far.
Got to keep him healthy, though. That's imperative for this team. Week 10 in the XFL continues tomorrow afternoon. The Renegades hosting the Roughnecks. It's at 3 Eastern here on ESPN. The Vipers and Sea Dragons are at 7 o'clock Eastern on ESPN2. Both, of course, available on ESPN+. We got sunshine, we got snow flurries, we got action from the number 1 offense so far, and we'll get back to actual football after the little kicking exhibition. The scoring system that, as Quentin mentioned, we made up around the dinner table last night.
Thank you for dinner, by the way, Chris. That was amazing. Thank you for that.
But we really did cook up the scoring system. We think it's actually fair for the defense.
Yeah, I think it is. You know, you got to give the defense an opportunity to score points. Getting turnovers gives them 6. That's equivalent to a touchdown. Everything matches the other thing as far as contested catches to PBUs, sacks, to 20-plus yard gains. I think it's going to keep the game competitive. As you can see, the score so far has it that way.
He had a handshake from Sal Sinceri, who's a legend, one of those old heads in coaching. He's been everywhere. Was at Alabama. Now he's here, part of this very experienced coaching staff. Just a kind of a grin on his face as he takes. He's seen everything, but he hasn't quite seen this before, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's seen a sold-out spring game after a team went 1-11 just because the head coach comes in and brings a new energy. It's unbelievable.
Now we've got what appears to be like a 7-on-7 feel. They're using both ends of the field. The number one offense is going left to right. And again, they've taken the lineman off. There's Travis Hunter, the electric receiver, who's made a huge impact. Won't be brought to the ground, thankfully, at this point. But we expected to see some wrinkles when the weather is part of it.
Yes, and Chris, this is NFL-style practice, right? They go out, they scrimmage a little bit. Now they split the offensive line away from the skill guys, run the 7-on-7, and have them work on the inside running game and pass protecting. The NFL experience on this staff is showing itself with the way that Deion runs his practices.
And as a broadcast, we'll just roll with it. You're getting your steps out here. We're calling this game from all over the place, just trying to stay out of the way and not get run over.
That is true. I'm getting my steps. I know you're getting your steps. You're in good shape, man.
At altitude, it all counts. Every step counts more. There's Hunter again on the slate. He's going to be a problem all season long. Not a big dude. He's only about 165 pounds, but tremendous ball skills to go with the quickness. He's maybe more blazing quickness than straight ahead speed, would you say?
Yeah, it's his ability to adjust to the football. And I think Coach told us in our meetings that this guy, he can go and be a number one draft pick as a wide receiver or as a corner, but they really wanted him to hone in on playing receiver this spring so that he can learn how to use his arms and get in and out of breaks. You'll see him last year at Jackson State going up and making plays, catching game-winning touchdowns. He's a big-time player, or as some people say, a prime-time player.
So that throwaway for Sanders, his first of the day. Ball has really touched the ground, but the number one offense has been out here. Gives way to Ryan Staub. Sean Lewis, offensive coordinator with Quent now.
Yeah, I'm over here. Sean Lewis did a fine job as a head coach at Kent State. In some key games last year, actually drove the ball against Georgia and Washington, and he's calling it right here.
No flag.
Listen in a little. Pretty simple terminology, Coach.
Yes, sir. Clean, concise, so guys can think fast, know fast, do fast.
Talk fast?
That's it. Lots of caffeine.
Lots of caffeine.
Lewis is a guy who was in demand. While he was head coach at Kent State, plenty of programs expressed interest in bringing him and his offense. And it was Deion Sanders who convinced him this is the place to be.
Yeah.
Interesting to step down from a head coach to go be a coordinator.
You really have to believe in a guy to make the move from being a head coach to coming and being his offensive coordinator. When we talked to Sean Lewis, he said in his first conversations with Coach Prime, they didn't even talk about football. They didn't even talk about strategy. They talked about family. And he felt like Colorado, in Boulder, Colorado, it fits what his family needs. And obviously Coach Prime gave him the confidence that he was going to be able to come here and make a huge impact at a program that needs it.
Kendrick Breedlove, a transfer from Ole Miss, broke that play up. We should give some attention to the defense. These are tough conditions for a defense out here, 7-on-7, but they're going to get a field finish. Sticking to the guys pretty well, actually.
Hey, Chris, your point about this defense needing to get some love. Also, the amount of transfers that they had go out, the majority of them were on the defensive side of the ball. So these guys aren't just out here in bad conditions, but they're also exhausted because some of them are playing 1, 2, and 3 on defensive side of the football.
See Travis Hunter back on the field as promised, playing both ways. He's kind of covering the tight end flex to the left.
Oh!
And there's a catch made downfield. That's Brady Compass, the tight end, who reaches the end zone. So Ryan Stout, the high school senior, makes a throw and a catch, and that's a thrill for him with the folks back home looking in on TV.
Yeah, that was an issue where Travis Hunter has not been playing. Travis Hunter has not been playing on both sides of the ball so far this spring. Taking more defensive reps today than he has all spring. And there was a bust, and Coach Kelly actually took responsibility for that. Communicate. Well, you got Travis playing defense finally.
Yeah, we got him playing defense. He came over late. He was supposed to stay on this side. That's not.
Yeah, that's
coach.
Yeah, that's not on him. He's certainly special on both sides of the ball, Coach. I haven't seen anything like that in a long time.
Great ball skills, can cover. He does everything he's supposed to.
You ever deal with two-way guys while you're at Florida State or Alabama?
Not at Florida State, but I have in the past. So, I mean, it's a challenge, but he's a guy that can do it.
He can?
He can do it.
Charles Kelly, a guy who's been a part of 2 national championship staffs, said with Florida State and, of course, at Alabama. When you come from Alabama and you come to see this roster, it's definitely a shock to the system. He knows what a rebuilding job it is on that side of the ball.
Yeah, it's a rebuilding job, and it helps when you have a guy like Travis Hunter who can come in and say, hey, we need you to lock down this tight end. Hey, we need you to lock down this wide receiver. And he can do that in spot duty. They're not going to want to have him playing both ways for the entirety of a game, but to have a weapon like that to go out there and utilize, that's priceless for Coach Prime, Coach Kelly, and Sean Lewis on offense.
The ability is in question, but as Charles Kelly said, being up to speed with the scheme on both sides of the ball is a serious mental challenge.
Yeah, they had 2 guys guarding the slot tight end to the top of the screen on that last touchdown play, and no one guarding the tight end who scored the touchdown. Communication is always key, and we know that Deion is an over-communicator, so he's going to be on Travis Hunter about that.
Hunter not short of confidence, but there's still stuff to learn.
Yeah, all these guys have stuff to learn, and I think that was part of their maturation process. Shedeur getting to get 2 years of playing at Jackson State has made him a better quarterback today, as opposed to going to a Power 5 and sitting for a year or maybe 2. He got that playing experience. Same with Travis Hunter.
Dylan Edwards is 5'9", 165. You saw him flash the speed. Here he is taking a shot inside.
Yeah, I don't like number 10s getting hit like that.
I don't think I do either as a Malone, frankly.
Like number 10s getting hit like that, okay? Kind of brings back some bad memories.
I mean, he's a guy that can get into space, and they'll try to find space for him in this offense. But at 165, it's tough to run up between the tackles.
It is, but he's shown a willingness to. And 2 of his big runs today actually came inside the tackles, which is what Coach Sean Lewis said they needed him to do. Be more patient. Don't try to bounce every single thing. But I'm telling you, this offense is a space creator. Look at these splits by the wide receivers. They're trying to use up almost the entirety of the field and make the defense have to make a decision to stop the run or to play the pass.
Play clock is winding down here. In fact, he goes to 0 before they get the snap off. They don't call it, and Sanders from the end zone takes a shot downfield, and the catch is made. And there's Lamonius Craig, your guy, RG3, running down the field, and he will score a 98-yard touchdown pass.
Oh, my gosh.
What happened, Coach?
They're back on their feet here. These folks are enjoying what they're seeing with the coach's son quarterback in this number 1 offense, doing stuff they haven't seen in a real game in a long time.
Exactly. And they always say don't get overhyped about a spring game, but we don't care about that. This is Colorado Buffalo football. They haven't seen anything like this in quite some time. And Lamonius Craig, just the way he just broke that tackle on the sideline. I don't know if it was a great broken tackle or just a bad tackle by the DB. Either way, touchdown. That's awesome.
Could hear Deion Sanders get excited. It's a spring game, but I think coming out of this, folks will be buzzing what Shedeur Sanders has been able to do with these receivers. They don't even have Jimmy Horn out there. We'll talk more about one of his main weapons who's not going today.
Oh, my goodness. Jimmy Horn from USF to transfer. A smaller receiver, but unbelievably fast. You talk to Deion, he wants to recruit guys that are tough, fast, smart, disciplined with character, and Jimmy Horn is one of those. I was watching some tape last year of Gary Bohannon, who was the quarterback that transferred to USF from Baylor, and I'm like, who is this guy? And it was Jimmy Horn that he was throwing the football to, and now he's going to get an opportunity in a wide-open offense to truly show off his full skill set.
And Quint's got him.
Jimmy, I was watching tape of you at UCF returning touchdowns, kickoffs against BYU. How do you describe the impact you can have here?
Well, I can have a big impact here with my speed and my knowledge of the game and having great IQ out here. And I know speed of kid is this conference, Pac-12, and that's what we're trying to bring here to Colorado. So we're going to have a lot of speed out here this year.
back me up a second. Why did you make the switch? What was most appealing about Colorado?
Oh, you know, man, Coach Prime go back from high school. You know, they recruited me at Jackson State. I was about to go to Jackson State, but I went to USL, my quarterback. So this is only right for me, you know. And plus, like, it feel good out here, but it's cold. But usually it's not like this. You feel me? But overall, like, it was the right move for me.
How would you best describe Shedeur and the chemistry that you're developing?
Man, Shedeur, we got a real good, not connection, but chemistry. Well, we do got a good connection too, but overall, like, Shedeur a good person, you know. He got great ball placement, as y'all can see out here. I wish I was able to play, man. I had to put my hip flex in. We could show y'all some of that on the field.
Yeah, Coach told us that you've been doing a great job, and he loves your work ethic. He says you're a dog. You're one of the hardest working guys on the team, so keep it up, Jimmy.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Mace Siemens, a kick returner as well. He filled that role with the USF Bulls. That hip not quite ready to go, so wise to rest him today. But we expect to see Horn and Hunter together. We've already seen what Mathis can do, and there'll be more receivers on the way, remember. You got 2 4-star wide receivers, Adam Hopkins, who's out of Thomasville, Georgia, near Tallahassee, and Amarian Miller, who's from Louisiana. There are 4 other wide receiver signees in the class, so they loaded up at that position.
Yeah, they did load up at that position, and I can tell you right now, in this offense, there is more than enough room for 3 to 4 to 5 receivers to eat and put on tape what can get them drafted into the NFL.
Catch made underneath. The NHL playoffs, Rangers off to a great start hosting the Devils in Game 3 at the Garden, which will be rocking with the Rangers in control against their rivals from across the river. 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific at ABC at ESPN+. Desperation time for the Devils. So we've had 2 of the periods complete so far in this unusual format. The snowflakes are still flying, but your initial impressions, what you've seen so far in the first hour.
Yeah, I mean, my first initial impressions are, talking about the keys to a spring game, right? Say it with your chest. Your best players have to come out here and put on a show, and we've seen that from Shedeur Sanders, from Travis Hunter, from Dylan Edwards, and Lamonius Craig going out there making plays. We talk about the snow angels, right? In this situation, you want to make sure you're taking care of your guys. I know you want to go full tilt and put on a show on both sides of the ball, but it's also about protecting your teammates. And then, of course, no touching. We haven't seen anyone get near the quarterback today. That is a plus, Chris. Yeah, you can rush, breathe down his neck, but when you get close, don't even think about touching that man.
Shedeur's numbers when he was kept clean at Jackson State were outstanding.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't get a lot of pressure. When he was pressured, decent numbers, but it was sub 50% completions, not many touchdowns. They're going to come after him in the Pac-12. That'll be something that he still has to improve upon, I think.
Yes, and we got a little flag here, Pac-12 refs. Getting those flags on the ground. But
that was a false start. Legit.
It was a false start. It was legit. But it brings me back to the point you made earlier about the wide receivers coming in. If you're going to blitz this offense, the offense has to have weapons on the outside so that when you get those one-on-one matchups, it'll deter a defense from wanting to do that. No defense in the country wants their starting safety to have to be one-on-one with Travis Hunter on a wide receiver route because they decided to blitz a corner or they decided to blitz a linebacker. So them bringing in the talent is going to help them alleviate some of that pressure. And because they spread everybody out, the running game and the creases down the middle of the field will be huge.
Hit after the catch by Austin Dulkey, a walk-on. We'll give a shout-out to the walk-ons who are out here getting some time in this spring game with a big hit inside. So that is the end of the period here in Boulder. A lot more to talk about with this CU Buffaloes 2023 spring game. We continue.
Right now, you all are on an audition, man. Especially some of you guys left over from last year. You're auditioning. You gotta want this. You gotta want it, and we're gonna be able to tell if you want it or not. You gotta work. And if you don't believe, you're in the wrong room. If you don't want it, you're in the wrong room. If you're not willing to work, you're in the wrong room. Because we gonna do it. I ain't got time. I know I look good, but I'm 55. I ain't got time.
What do you got there? Hospital bill for me?
Mm-hmm.
For $1,200? Did you say Gap?
Yeah, he did. He's talking about expenses that health insurance doesn't cover.
That's why there's Aflac. It pays you money to help close that gap.
Aflac, huh?
Don't tell me he high-stepping.
He stole my move.
Get help with expenses health insurance doesn't cover.
Aflac
Is an official sponsor of ESPN College Game Day.
Your mission is to make sure the president is reelected.
We'll hit the DNC at the Watergate.
That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
These are the wrong tools.
What?
He has the wrong tools.
How does it work?
There's a chance I will be going to prison.
Wait, what?
We're acting in the country's best interest.
What about the best interest of your family?
Meet the Ninja Double Oven, a top rapid oven and a bottom air fry oven. It's 2 ovens in the space of 1. FlexStore technology lets you cook 2 meals at different times and temps. And with Smart Finish, all your food is ready at the same time. The Ninja Double Oven, the newest addition to the Ninja Oven family.
Welcome to the final push, where greatness is tested, where unstoppable forces collide, legends break through, and legacies are etched in gold. It's playoffs time, and whatever happens next is going to be beautiful. The NBA playoffs tonight on ESPN.
YouTube is the new home of NFL Sunday Ticket. Sign up now and get $100 off. Watch all your favorite NFL teams' out-of-market Sunday afternoon games all season long exclusively on YouTube and YouTube TV. Sign up now.
Lily! Welcome to our third Barkery.
Oh, I can tell business is going through the roof.
But seriously, we need a reliable way to help keep everyone connected from wherever we go.
Well, at AT&T, we'll help you find the right wireless plan for you, so you can stay connected to all your drivers and stores on America's most reliable 5G network.
That sounds just perfect.
Terrierific.
I Labrador you.
Round of applause.
AT&T 5G is fast, reliable, and secure for your business.
Intelligence is the foundation of any good business. But if every good business has it, how do you stand out? Intuition. And we can engineer it.
Well, it's about time we got someone good in here. That's all I have to say about that. Colorado football has been a long time been going nowhere. We got nothing.
He's bringing a good energy for here, that's for sure. I'd like to see the football team win. I know they haven't been doing too good for the last few years, apparently. I know historically they were doing good, so hopefully he can bring that back.
I love the enthusiasm, momentum, the excitement.
Well, we're hoping it brings more hope to the team that this year it's going to be a good year for us.
I mean, he's bringing a lot of excitement to Boulder. I'm stoked to see it.
Deion's definitely bringing the hype around the campus. It's great to see him bring all these 5-stars and all these recruits up. So seeing the campus and the energy around here with the students is awesome.
Really excited, man. You know, he's bringing a lot of new folks out here, like me. I'm from ATL, coming out here for the weekend, for the game and all that, you know. Pretty excited.
Yeah, just the hype around Deion. I felt like I had to look good the day before the spring game. Shaved half my mustache in excitement just to get adequately prepared. I think Deion just brought like a full 180 to the program. Compared to last year, we had like half the students or more leaving after the first quarter. Now we have a sold-out spring game. Can't really ask for much more than that.
Energy, I think interest in the football team. My daughter was already planning on going here in the fall, but that just accelerated things and moved it up to the top of the list.
Dynamite. You know what I'm saying? He get the kids motivated. You know, he's top notch, man. You know, the way he changed Jackson State, we're going to do the same thing here. One day at a time, man. You know, it's just recruiting. Getting some of the best athletes around the country. That's how it starts. You know what I'm saying? Everything's about recruiting.
Another health insurance commercial, another aqua aerobics scene.
Yep, most health insurance companies see us all the same. Smiley seniors, golfing, hiking.
Don't forget antiquing.
That's why I chose Humana. They see me, not a stereotypical senior. I'm pre-diabetic, so I talked one-on-one with a Humana health educator who really helped me. Now I'm taking free cooking and meditation classes.
Not aqua aerobics.
Better care begins with listening. Humana, a more human way to health care.
The Chase Ink Business Premier Card is made for people like Sam who make
Everyday products designed smarter.
Like a smart coffee grinder.
That orders fresh beans for you.
Oh, genius. For more breakthroughs like that,
I need a breakthrough card.
like ours, with 2.5% cash back on purchases of $5,000 or more.
Plus unlimited 2% cash back on all other purchases.
And with greater spending potential, Sam can keep making smart
A
ideas.
brilliant reality.
The Ink Business Premier Card from Chase for Business. Make more of what's yours.
Let me tell you a story about a beer. Rooted in the heart of America. Raised by generations willing to sip, share, risk, remember. This is a story bigger than beer. This is the story of the American spirit. YouTube is the new home of NFL Sunday Ticket. Sign up now and get $100 off. Watch all your favorite NFL teams' out-of-market Sunday afternoon games all season long exclusively on YouTube and YouTube TV. Sign up now.
Lily! Welcome to our third Barkery.
Oh, I can tell business is going through the roof.
But seriously, we need a reliable way to help keep everyone connected from wherever we go.
Well, at AT&T, we'll help you find the right wireless plan for you, so you can stay connected to all your drivers and stores on America's most reliable 5G network.
That sounds just perfect.
Terrierific.
I Labrador you.
Round of applause.
AT&T 5G is fast, reliable, and secure for your business.
Here's some advice. You can never go wrong with the classics, whether that's choosing Smirnoff Ice Original or choosing the next song on the playlist.
Hey, this takes me back.
Yeah, I don't want to go back. I can pay my rent now. My advice, choose Smirnoff Ice.
There's no mascot like Ralphie the Buffalo. Ralphie's 6 was actually a scratch today to concern for the handler's safety and the footing, but Coach Prime got a up-close look at the Buffalo earlier this spring.
Okay, let's go together, because we go down, we're going to go together.
Here we go, baby.
We're going to go together. Lord, that tongue is like a brick.
It's like a piece of sandpaper. It'll
Oh
scrape
my
you.
God. Oh no. Oh, we supposed to stay here while the thing is coming?
Yep, I'll just have you step back and step.
Oh,
She's gonna
we
stop
definitely
right
step.
there. Yep.
Oh no. I'm not standing here while this thing is coming at me full speed. Oh no. No. Oh no.
You staying in there, Coach? You coming out?
Ralphie was intimidating.
Nice to meet you, Coach.
That was intimidating.
She's coming.
That was intimidating.
I did want to tell Dion that the current Ralphie is one of the smallest buffaloes I've ever had here. He wasn't a big fan of being that close to a big animal.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty scary to be next to a buffalo, no matter how big or small. It's still a wild animal. But how about, did you see the guy with the half mustache?
I did. One of the fans on the street? Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. He was so excited about coming to the game or talking about Coach Prime, he forgot to cut the other side of it. He didn't know if he wanted to party or, you know. How about this?
Passion comes in many forms.
Would you, if Colorado beats TCU, will you rock the half mustache?
No, it'll take more than that. I'll tell you what, we're going to have more fun. We got ex-Colorado greats, Cordell Stewart, other guys. We'll visit with them during the second half of this wild spring extravaganza.
Seriously? Now there's a hole in your defense. Look at the size of that. Is that a goat?
You talking about me?
I think this goat is saying gap.
Must be talking about the expenses health insurance doesn't cover.
So who's talking about the money Aflac pays to help close that gap?
Aflac, Dad, Aflac, Dad.
It's about to go down, baby.
Get help with expenses health insurance doesn't cover.
Aflac
is an official sponsor of ESPN College Game Day.
This electric feels different because it's powered by the most potent source of energy there is. You. This is the Lexus variety of electrification. Inspired by, created for, and powered by you.
with wet AMD, sometimes I worry my world is getting smaller because of my sight. But now, I can open up my world with Vabysmo. Vabysmo is the first FDA-approved treatment for people with wet AMD that improves vision and delivers a chance for up to 4 months between treatments, which means doing more of what I love. Vabysmo is the only treatment designed to block 2 causes of wet AMD.
Vabysmo is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye, or are allergic to it or any of its ingredients. Treatments like Vabysmo can cause eye infection or retinal detachment. Vabysmo may cause a temporary increase in eye pressure after receiving the injection. Although uncommon, there is a potential risk of heart attack or stroke associated with blood clots.
Open up your world.
A chance for up to 4 months between treatments with Vabysmo. Ask your doctor.
First, there's an idea, and you do something about it for the first time with GoDaddy. Then, before you know it, you make your first sale. Small business firsts never stop coming. And you have a partner that always puts you first. Start today at GoDaddy.com.
Meet the Ninja Double Oven, a top rapid oven and a bottom air fry oven. It's 2 ovens in the space of 1. FlexStore technology lets you cook 2 meals at different times and temps. And with Smart Finish, all your food is ready at the same time. The Ninja Double Oven, the newest addition to the Ninja Oven family.
We have the maker mindset. We're trying to change things for the better. They're trying to make sports more safe and inclusive for all.
CU's initiative is called Women with Altitude, and so that is our commitment to get just all-around better representation for females.
I think it's super important to network with the community. It's super important to give back.
To be part of the Pac-12 pushes us to do better in our everyday lives and make a difference wherever we go. I am a change maker.
Difference maker.
Connection maker.
The Pac-12 is the Conference of Champions.
And welcome back. ESPN College Football presented by Aflac. Well, the National Championship Trophy presented by Dr. Pepper makes the rounds during the season. It is in Boulder. The trophy design has changed a couple of times since the Buffs won a piece of the National Championship back in 1990. Insert joke here. They are a long way from getting a glimpse of that trophy. The rebuilding begins, though, with this spring. And we'll talk more about what lies ahead, what the potentials are for this team, and what we might see in the second half. We wonder if Shedeur Sanders' day is done or if he'll be back out there.
Yeah, I think Shedeur Sanders' day should be done. I think he's showcased what you want to see, which is command of the offense, which is something that Coach Prime talked to us about that he wanted to see. The mastery. Right now, he looks like he's right where he needs to be at this point in the spring. But, hey, what's up with the National Championship Trophy being here? I could hear a little laughter underneath your voice, Chris.
Well, for a team that was 1-11, there's a lot of steps to be taken before you even look at that trophy. Right?
That is very true, but
I tell you what, the energy in here has been really the story of the day. 40,000 plus, maybe 45,000. The day began like this. This field was blanketed by a few inches of snow. They didn't really begin to plow it until a few hours before the scrimmage began. So good job at the 11th hour to get this thing cleared. And the way it looked this morning, the way it's actually turned out, I think they have to be pretty pleased.
Yeah, Chris, to be honest, we didn't even think that we would have much of a spring game. So shout out to the grounds crew for getting the field cleared, and also the players. Right, Coach Prime says he's here to win now, so you can never let the elements stop you, even in a spring game, from coming out and showcasing what you have, and I think that's what the team has done.
We've talked a lot about the modern landscape of the sport and how this is the portal era to the nth degree. We'll see more of that on display and talk more about that. But Quint, I mean, he wanted to put on a show and sell the energy and sell the hope and belief, and we've certainly seen that.
There are 2 images that stand out for me. One is Coach Prime, Dan Sanders, running to the logo, greeting the crowd, all these 40,000 fans on their feet cheering for him. I mean, he is the cult of personality. Then the second image would be the players, because simultaneously they're running on this field. I could see their faces. They were grinning ear to ear. They were like the happiest football players. They're like, wow, these people are here to watch us. This is incredible. They were all smiling ear to ear. You could see their joy.
Well, the first team offense is back out there. They're going to run some situational stuff. Looks like this is a red zone period. You got Hunter out there and Harmonious Craig and Mathis. Guys have been making plays. Hand it off inside to Hankerson. And they're still tackling here in the second half as he's brought down by a group.
Yeah, when you talk about wanting to win now, you have to showcase that to your players. And I think Coach Prime got that across to them yesterday in the huddle. talking about how he wanted them to approach today. Go out, put on a show, tackle, play football. He's got to get football-playing guys out here to help turn this thing around, and the only way to figure that out is to let them go out there and be live.
Mathis makes the catch, and he's knocked down near the line of scrimmage. Defensively, we talked about how woeful this unit was a year ago. Major steps to be taken, and you're going to see, Sanders says, maybe 8 guys who will start in that defense on the opening day that are not on this field right now. We talked about Kermani McLean, the 5-star corner from Lakeland, Florida, who's here watching as a fan, but not in the field. There'll be other guys who come in to shore up the defensive line, the linebacker position, but that's a pretty interesting thing for a coach to say. 8 guys who will start for me against TCU aren't yet on campus. That is a giant snapshot of where we are in the sport.
Yeah, it is giant, and as he said, what it looks like today is not what it's going to look like tomorrow. But you just look at the stats for these guys from last year, last place. You know, I can only say this so many times. We have both seen the top teams in the Pac-12 and what they look like. And right now, Colorado up front does not look like a contending team, and Deion is not shying away from that. He's saying, I need to go get some of these big body guys from the Alabamas, from the Georgias, from all across the nation to come in here and help our team look the part and play the part. That's why he's using the portal so heavily.
Yeah, they had an exodus of some of the guys who played offensive line for this team a year ago. Casey Roddick transferred to Florida State. We had the most snaps on the offensive line. Austin Johnson took off. So rebuilding an offensive line in the portal has been the ultimate challenge in terms of how this system is being used, and a lot of work still to be done there. And it's blocked. Look out, get out of the way. They're scooping this up as we try not to get run over. And it's Beasley taking this the other way. They almost get to the end zone. RG3 just avoided getting run over. The man showing the speed here is Beasley. Tried to take the block field goal back for 6. Are you okay, Robert? The hamstring intact? You okay?
Chris, I'm good. I didn't know where to go, so I just kept running straight.
Right here.
Oh, my goodness.
Here we are trying to get out of the way. Red jacket.
The red jacket. I'm like, okay, where do I go? Oh, he's about to hit me.
Hey, we promised you a broadcast like you hadn't seen before. We are literally down in it. That's 2 kicks that have been blocked here, by the way. So something for the specialists to work on between now and the season.
And I know we're laughing about it. Coach Prime may laughing about that right now. He does not want to see those type of massive mistakes happening on special teams, because special teams can win or lose you a game.
Taking one of the few things they did well this team a year ago.
You feeling the altitude, Robert?
What?
You feeling the altitude?
Q, I can't
You did that
breathe.
with your hand in the pocket. That's pretty good.
I appreciate that. You saw the athleticism. Hey, Chris, there's not many analysts out there that are doing that type of stuff.
What'd you say to him? What did you say to him?
Stop. You know you are too old to be running down there like that. You still have some speed, though.
I appreciate that.
You still have some speed. I like when you went.
Michael Harrison making a touchdown catch here as Staub gets the 2 offense going.
Hey, Ryan Staubs looked really good
I was
today.
smart enough to. I read the situation. I read the situation.
Appreciate you, brother. No, what I was saying is Ryan Staubs looked really good today as well, and that's a good thing, because you don't know what's going to happen with your quarterback. You don't wish any injuries on anyone, but this is college football. It's football in general. Injuries happen. You have to have a guy behind your starter who is a competent player, and Staub is showing himself to be really good so far throughout the spring game.
Yeah, the number 2 quarterback position remains up for grabs. They'll go to the portal and bring in some help there, but here's a guy with a lot of moxie. He comes up to me yesterday, again, talking about the fact that his high school prom is next weekend. He's going back to California to attend it. But these early enrollees who come out and actually get reps and make plays in front of a big crowd and TV cameras as he throws for another touchdown.
Whoa, look at that. That was a touchdown pass on Travis Hunter.
Estes making a catch against the hyped recruit.
Oh, wow. I've heard that no one has made a catch on Travis Hunter all spring. So for Staub to come out here in the spring game and throw that pass and a touchdown against him, that's a big deal. I know he's upset. He's going to try to take it out on offense. On the
That's a
defense
walk-on
next
against
time.
the five-star. Jeanette Estes, who comes from Austin, Texas, made the grab, and Staub delivered a couple of nice throws in that possession.
Yeah. As we said, you never want to get too hyped up for spring games, but as a quarterback, it's all about decision making, and what Staub's doing is really nice.
Well, as you know, spring games serve various purposes, but one is that it gives the coaches a glimpse of what guys can do, as they say, with the lights on. Meaning you bring some crowd, cameras, and it's different than a regular practice. And some guys don't play as well in that situation. Some guys step up in that situation.
Yeah, defensive coordinator Charles Kelly told us who's going to play up, who's going to play down. There's guys that play unbelievable in practice that can't really get it done in the game. And this is a game-like atmosphere. Look at these stands. I don't know if they've had this many fans in the stands in quite some time out here in Boulder, Colorado.
You're talking about a fan base that rushed the field after beating Cal last year, their only win of the season. So they're starving for this. And most of these fans that are old enough remember the days you're talking about when guys like Cordell Stewart and Rashawn Salam and you know, so many others who are Michael Westbrook, who's here on the sidelines as well. This program does not completely lacking in history. It's just lacking in recent history. And we talked about Sanders injecting energy, and they're getting enough glimpses here, RG3, to carry that through the summer and make them believe that real improvement is possible.
And Chris, I think that was the point. The point was to come out here in the spring game and let this be ground zero for the Colorado Buffalo program. You know, springboard the recruiting, springboard the excitement to show, hey, Shedeur Sanders isn't an FCS quarterback. He's an FBS top caliber quarterback, and they're doing that. And what we just found out was that last year they averaged 42,000 fans per game. And right now at the spring game, they have a sold out 45,000. So if you're getting this kind of turnout to your spring game, that shows you how thirsty these fans have been for success.
They've announced attendance at 47,277 today.
So even more.
Again, it's hard to overstate the fact that this was a down program, as down as you can get, and 47,000 paid to come to the spring game. Quint?
Joined by Cordell Stewart, played quarterback here in the mid-90s, one of my favorites all time. I'm a Ravens fan, and I still found myself rooting for you.
Yeah, well, you know, I did get Special Teams Player of the Week when we played against the Jets, when Prime told me to pick my foot up to actually punt the ball, and I ended up having a great punt and put him out of position and kicking the field goal to win the game. But, yeah, I played with the Ravens. It was pretty interesting, I'll say that.
How do you best describe the scene here today?
It's energetic for sure. The energy I think we need. I think most wanted to see what Shedeur Sanders could do. I've always watched him and seen he's improved and was played very well when it came down to making plays and reads and just quarterback in the quarterback position. But today I had a chance to see it in person, and I love it, actually. And there's some plays, like I think it was a penalty that took place, and it was a dead play, and he ended up taking the ball and throwing it downfield and making like a 30 or 40-yard completion that was really, really good. So he's doing everything that he's supposed to, and I love to see it.
What are your initial reactions about Coach Prime? Can this work?
It's working. You know, when building a house, you never say, I want to wait to see the kitchen get done before I like the house, right? You go through the process of getting the Bobcats and bulldozing the property and putting down the foundation, and all you can do is be excited. I mean, think about the merchandising. We're second in the country. The portal, we're first in the country. In the 23 class, we're in the top 25. So when you put it all together, the trajectory is going in the right direction, and I think the foundation of the program is settling in.
I had to come see Cordell Quinn. Hey, let's talk about the molding of a team in this portal era.
Yeah.
I mean, this is crazy stuff, Cordell. 70 new faces. Deion sometimes downplays the importance of chemistry, but talk about bringing a bunch of guys together and getting them to play for each other, get to know each other first.
It's almost like free agency.
Yeah.
You know, I think that the lay of the land is similar. Well, it's perfect for both parties, for the player as well as the coach. So now the pressure gets on the coach to try to find those right players to fit what they do. And that's great, because if it's just January with early signing and February with that signing, which is National Signing Day, it becomes pretty tough, to say the least, to just depend on that. That's the way it used to be. We had no questions about it. But now we have this extra thing going on right now. It's pretty impressive.
We'll see if he can mold this team into a cohesive group, because this is the ultimate team sport, college football.
It is. And football is kind of one of the harder ones, because if one offensive lineman is out of sync, you know, it screws up the entire protection or the blocking scheme. In basketball, we know it's different, right? One guy can take the game over. Michael Jordan's proven that. But this is it's a team sport that's beyond words, and to get these guys to conform and understand what it is they need to do as a group, it's something to look forward to and be excited about. And we can see they're doing good.
Lamonius Craig made a nice catch and took a big shot. That's a good ball delivered over the middle.
Great ball by Shedeur Sanders across the middle. He had pressure in his face. He took his time. He was poised, and he laid it to the guy right on. Take a great shot. But sometimes when you trust your quarterback and you trust your receiver, that's the kind of stuff that happens.
Cordell, what are fair expectations for this fall season?
Well, we know it's going to be better than last year. 111, I don't think that's too hard to take care of. But, you know, you have to be enthusiastic about everything that's going on, just because of the excitement, the energy. I mean, look what we have. We had a sold-out crowd today. It's a spring game. We already sold out when it came to the regular season. And that type of anticipation really puts you in a place of having a tremendous amount of confidence, but getting the right guys, let alone the guys to play hard for you.
Great to see you. Thanks for joining us. Thanks.
I'm going to talk about Montana Lamonius Craig, who made another catch on this drive as Sanders scrambles and scoots into the end zone for a touchdown on the ground. So he shows the dual threat ability we talked about. We'll make the point again about Lamonius Craig in a minute, RG3.
Yeah, look at Shedeur over there. He's conducting the band a little bit. Absolutely love it. Breaks the pocket. You talk about mobility. Sometimes it's about knowing when to run, and that's exactly what Shedeur did right there. Got out of the pocket, kept his eyes down the field. Hey, you guys aren't going to guard me? Cool. I'll just run it in myself.
The focus has been on the new faces, but the holdovers from Colorado, guys who were part of those brutal teams and suffered and stuck around. And Lamonius Craig has had a great afternoon. You can just see the injection, the enthusiasm of a guy who's now got a quarterback who can deliver the football in an offense that seems dynamic. I know it's a scrimmage, but when you see the guys as Hunter goes down low and can't come up with it, being rewarded for sticking it out and giving them some hope that this offense could look very different in 23.
Yeah, Chris, there's an understanding that the fans at home have to really comprehend about how hard it is to be losing constantly year after year after year and never giving up on yourself, never giving up on the process. But it also speaks to what this man right here, Coach Prime, has done, bringing in these coaches, bringing in an environment that is going to allow these guys to be successful. When you have guys that lose a lot on your team, you have to get that losing mentality out of your program, and Coach Prime has done exactly that.
He's a man of few words for once, as you made his point.
Yeah, it's an understanding of these guys all believe that they can play at this level. They all believe that they can be the reason that the program gets turned around, and I think that's what he's trying to find.
You got any response to them, Coach?
He's right on the point. He's right on point. That's not only on the field, it's off the field as well, all throughout the building. It's a culture, and you got to create a culture of winning, a culture of understanding that we have a commitment to excellence, and I'm not compromising it.
You told us yesterday you love guys who enjoy the process, who want to love everything about it. How do you find that in young men?
It's intangibles. I mean, when we're recruiting, most guys feel like they're recruiting the school. They figure out if they're going to go to the school, but we're recruiting you to see if we want you to come to the school. That's a process, and you got to get the right and the like-minded guys into this wonderful university.
So there are some things non-negotiable, so to speak.
I'm old school, not old fool. I'm old school.
Some non-negotiables.
Yeah, certainly, yes.
That's the thing, RG3. People think he's coaching in his own unique way, but he's the first to tell you that the way he was coached when he was a young player, hard at Florida State, and of course in the NFL, he's trying to get that across to these guys who might think, hey, he's fun, he's loose, he's a player's coach. I don't have to work. No,
you have to work when you come here to Colorado, or if you're a player for Coach Prime. He talked about having to earn your jersey numbers, right? You see the jersey numbers today, but a lot of these guys still haven't even earned their jerseys because he comes from a generation of, hey, you want a single digit? You got to make sure that you're a guy, a bona fide guy on this team. And the thing that Prime does the best is he allows his coaches and his players to play with emotion. You can look at the defensive coordinator getting upset about some of the plays that are happening on defense. You see Coach Prime dancing whenever they're scoring touchdowns. And, of course, Shedeur Sanders conducting the band. He wants his guys to have fun, but he wants them to put in the work. So all the stuff they did this spring culminated in this game right here. And now they're coming out and putting on a show. I love to see that.
shades of Peyton Manning directing the Volunteer Band to big wins in his Tennessee career. By the time the season starts, most of these newcomers will actually know the fight song, which will be good. And they hope they hear it here. They haven't heard the fight song very much in Folsom Field in recent years. Ryan Staub, number 2 quarterback, continues to look poised.
Yeah. Chris, you bring that up about some of the newcomers coming in and from the transfer portal, not knowing the tradition here at Colorado of those great teams. The team in '90 that won the national championship, the team that you brought up to me in '01 that kind of got close, got close to the national championship. How do you as an alum feel about that, having all these new guys come in, and what's the best way to teach them about the tradition?
Well, I think that you want your players, no matter where you play, to be acquainted with the tradition of the school. I think that there's time for that. I think Travis Hunter is one of the new guys that's just probably seeing snow for the first time in his football career. Quint's got him, but he was impressive today and again playing both ways.
Travis, back me up. You make the jump from Jackson State here to Colorado. What was most appealing?
Just coming here, just being able to do what I want to do, be able to play both sides of the ball like I wanted to. You see me starting off on offense. I know all the offensive plays. Now I'm just going to get back into defense during this summer break right here. And we're just going to go in and hit at it hard.
It was funny. We came out, we see guys in white jerseys. We see a couple gold. We see a couple black jerseys. Who's the guy in the gray jersey? Why is he wearing the gray jersey?
Because I'm playing both sides of the ball right now, so I'm on both starting groups, so I'm out there. So we won't make the quarterback mistake and try to pass me the ball and say it was a mistake or he didn't know I was in a different jersey. So we just came out here and let him know that, yeah, I'm the dude in a different jersey. So.
Nice little run to the right. Thank you, Travis. Good luck.
Thank you.
Notable two-way players. Champ Bailey is the most recent. That's the comparison because he's playing some receiver in DB. We're not talking about the Luke Rosa era. It was different. Gordon Lockbaum, different guys. But the comparison to Champ Bailey, I mean, look, he's a great player, but the dynamic athletic skill set.
Yeah, talking about Charles Woodson was a guy that I grew up, idolizing, playing both sides of the ball. But I think his greatest example is his head coach. Deion Sanders, right? Played offense, played defense. Also multiple sport
played baseball for 9 years.
Baseball, right? So I think he is saying, I can do it. Guys aren't doing this as often in college football anymore, but it's going to be very interesting to see him can conquer that.
Interesting has been the word of the day here in Boulder. We'll take you to the top of the hour. Take a quick break.
It's time. Say that. Say that again. If I were you, I wouldn't have been able to sleep last night because of the anticipation of today. Time you touch that field is a competition. Time you put on that CU, it's a competition. Coaches only. Players only. Everybody. It's time.
Let me tell you a story about a beer. Rooted in the heart of America. Raised by generations willing to sip, share, risk, remember. This is a story bigger than beer. This is the story of the American spirit.
Get $1,500 purchase allowance on a 2023 Cadillac XT5 and XT6. Visit your local Cadillac dealer today.
Health insurance commercial, take one.
Cut! One more. I got this. Cut! Take 37. Cut! I don't actually play tennis. I'm just an actor in a commercial. Most insurance companies don't know me, but Humana does. When I was diagnosed with COPD, they helped me manage it and keep my medication costs low. Even got me playing harmonica to help my lungs. Motorcycle scene, take one. I can't ride this thing either.
Better care begins with listening. Humana, a more human way to healthcare.
Hey, huddle up. Look, we came too far not to win this game. Look at them We on their heels, they ain't expecting to get this real. Me versus me, this my field. Fight, win. Putting in work when them boys was asleep. All of them lost, made me a beast. Championship, leaving with me.
The XFL playoffs begin April 29th.
Lily! Welcome to our third Barkery.
Oh, I can tell business is going through the roof.
But seriously, we need a reliable way to help keep everyone connected from wherever we go.
Well, at AT&T, we'll help you find the right wireless plan for you, so you can stay connected to all your drivers and stores on America's most reliable 5G network.
That sounds just perfect.
Terrierific.
I Labrador you.
Round of applause.
AT&T 5G is fast, reliable, and secure for your business.
I'm telling you, Coach Staley, I could really get used to this retirement thing.
Coach K, there's a goat here.
The story of my life.
No, Coach, there is a goat here.
What's this?
$1,000 hospital bill? But I have good health insurance.
Gap!
Did you say Gap?
He's talking about the expenses health insurance doesn't cover.
Well, with Aflac, you can get money to help close that gap.
Aflac, huh?
Gap!
Get help with expenses health insurance doesn't cover at Aflac.com.
This class of quarterbacks, they each were born to take this stage. Only question is, which team believes enough to take them? The NFL Draft begins April 7th on ESPN and ABC.
You're watching the Pac-12 on ESPN. It released the Pac-12 spring scrimmage moments ago. We're in break. Another touchdown pass from Shedeur Sanders. Another touchdown catch for a guy that we were just visiting with on the sidelines. Montana Lamonius Craig, the top receiver in this team a year ago, RG3. Yep. He went through hell. He stuck it out, and he has had more fun today than I think he has had in his life as a CU Buff.
Yes, he has. And what he told us right here on the sideline was it's all about hard work. I think that's exactly what you want to hear from a receiver who's been through the ringer, who's had a couple quarterbacks that haven't been able to get him the football the way that the wide receivers want the ball got to him. So for him to do this today, that catch right there, I mean, I think he's earning himself a lot of money, not in NIL, but also playing time with this team.
Let's talk about where Shedeur Sanders belongs in the Pac-12 quarterback situation, because it's the deepest conference in college football at that position. You got the ultimate alpha in the sport, Heisman Trophy winner Caleb Williams back. You got Bo Nix back for another year at Oregon. Had finished strong before he got hurt. Michael Penix Jr. had a tremendous season at Washington. Dynamic guy. Cam Rising off the ACL tear in the Rose Bowl is going to come back, hopefully be ready for the Utes opener against Florida. You got Cam Ward at Washington State, Jaden DeLaura, who transferred from Wazoo to Arizona. Dante Moore is a 5-star recruit at UCLA. Where does Shedeur fit into all of that in your view?
Yeah, I think Shedeur is right there in the middle of that pack. Obviously, Caleb Williams is the top dog, as you mentioned. But when you bring up Bo Nix, Heisman candidate, you're talking about Cam Rising, a guy that, went out and beat Caleb Williams at USC twice. So I don't like to really rank these guys and say, hey, he's better than this guy or he's better than that guy. We all know that Caleb Williams is the guy. He's the Heisman Trophy winner coming back. But Shedeur Sanders deserves to be right in the pack of that and say, hey, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the Pac-12, if not the top half of the Pac-12.
Colorado will need to have quarterback play that's in the top half of the Pac-12 to have a chance to win conference games because of the rest of the roster. DJ Uiagalelei transferring to Oregon State, a very compelling, interesting story. It's going to be a heck of a year in this conference at the quarterback position.
Yeah, you talk about those quarterbacks. It's amazing how strong quarterback play in the Pac-12 has been.
Can't wait to see how it unfolds. Week 10 in the XFL continues tomorrow. Renegades and the Roughnecks at 3 Eastern on ESPN. Vipers and Sea Dragons in primetime on ESPN2, both on the ESPN Plus as well.
Chris, I'm trying to see Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson get a one last snap of football in the XFL. I think that might shoot up the ratings,
There's another nice throw by Ryan Staub, the backup quarterback. Take a look at Shedeur's day, some of the highlights, and there have been a few to choose from here.
Yeah, there have. You talk about the run into the end zone there at the very end of the last possession. Talk about some of the throws that he's made down the field to Lamonius Craig, obviously to Travis Hunter. And, doing the smart plays, throwing the checkdowns to Dylan Edwards and getting the ball out of his hands. I think his decision-making today has been the brightest spot for him. He looks like a grown man now. When I saw him 2 years ago at Jackson State, when he was a freshman, he was smaller. He looks like he's grown a little bit, and he's grown wide a little bit. Put on some of that man strength. I think that's going to be big for him.
Looks solid. What?
Shedeur, nice job today. How would you assess your performance?
I'll say it's a solid day. Of course, I had some mental errors on that, so it wasn't perfect. So we just got to strive to be 100% every day.
What was your reaction when you took to the field and looked around the stadium?
I'm like, oh my God, this look crazy. Especially this morning, we came and the whole field was covered in snow. Then we get out here, the grounds crew did an amazing job, something I ain't never seen before. But then all the fans in here, like packed to the top for a spring game.
They were here 2 hours early.
I didn't know that. I was inside, so yeah, but it's exciting, having all the fans and just whole Buffalo Nation, just everybody able to just watch us perform and just practice.
We didn't know what Coach Prime was going to think about the snow. He's not actually like a snow guy, is he?
Nah, he's not a big snow guy. Yeah, he doesn't have all the warmth in his shoes. His shoes don't really cover. He misses 2 toes, so he got extra space in there, so it may get a little chilly in there.
Hey, Montana has been a revelation today.
Yeah.
Tell us about him.
Montana, he's an amazing player. He's just one of them players, as soon as he's confident, like he's ready to go. So you just got to know each receiver and each guy you're dealing with and how to cater to them. Like some guys, you gotta feed here and there until they get going. But Montana, he just came out here, played lights out game. So that I can't ask nothing better from him.
Next time we see you, Fort Worth at TCU, can you even imagine?
Nah, I can definitely imagine. We watching film, so yeah, I can imagine it every day when we watch it. But nah, yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for the rest of the pieces here on the team to get here, and it's gonna be real fast and real explosive.
Thank you. You're sharp today. Nice job.
The father-son dynamic is something I want to talk about in a second here. Finally got what I need here. NBA playoffs continue. Game 3's tonight on ESPN and the app. Heat and the Bucks at 7:30. Milwaukee in control there. Then LeBron and the Lakers host the Grizzlies. Countdown begins at 7 Eastern. The father-son dynamic is interesting. There was Dan Hawkins and his son Cody Hawkins played quarterback for him. Both those guys are now head coaches in college football. But it's tricky, isn't it? When you're the coach's son and you also have to be the alpha as the quarterback leader. How do teammates look at that? What is the challenge for Shedeur in that area?
I think the challenge was him coming here and putting in the work, leading by example. When you play your son and he is your starting quarterback, he has to be the best quarterback in the room. And Deion's not shying away from bringing in quarterbacks that are talented because you have to fill that room with competition. But I think what Shedeur did at Jackson State and what he's been able to do this spring showed everybody on this team, this is not a situation where Shedeur is going to be playing just because his dad is the coach.
What does success look like? How many games can they win? How much can they improve from being rock bottom in the country? Nobody knows, but I think there were some definite positive signs that will please this coaching staff. Coach Prime's going to talk to his guys now.
I just want to say, guys,
not sure if we can hear.
Excellent job.
We'll work our way towards this huddle. They've huddled up, and apparently the spring scrimmage is over. And they are saying a prayer now. We will take a break and wrap up this unique event in Boulder, Colorado after this.
Got to make sure we get those.
Most importantly, praising you and giving you the honor and giving us this opportunity for this wonderful day of college football. We thank you for all the things you give us.
What do you got there?
We'll talk about for 5 months. What is your takeaway, Deion?
I'm excited. We accomplished some wonderful things offensively, defensively. Special teams are horrible, with the extra point field goal team. We're going to address that. But other than that, we came out here and had a good showing. I think we may have one kid that sustained a partial injury, but hoping prayerfully he's okay. But it was good overall.
Yeah, spring games are always tough to evaluate, but people will walk out of here energized by the play of your son, Travis Hunter, and some of these receivers. This offense hasn't looked like this in a real game for a long time.
Well, Coach Sean Lewis has a lot to attribute to that. He's a mastermind. I mean, for a guy to relinquish being a head coach to come here because of the vision, because of the hope, because of the personnel that we're bringing in here, that says a lot, and I'm happy to have him on board.
Coach, we talk about leading the culture and being an agent of change.
Yes, sir.
Talk to the people at home about what God has called you to do here.
It's not just about football. It's about bringing people together. It's about uniting people, all ethnicities, all social climates. It's not just about football. People get so caught up in the W's and the L's. We're going to win some games. But we got to make sure these kids are winners, on and off the field and amongst the community. I don't care what ethnicity they are. We just want to bring people together and give them hope.
This roster is still far from fully formed. You've emphasized that throughout. We saw some guys make some plays today, but the influx between now and the opening game against TCU, I know you can't get too specific, but what are your expectations?
They're coming. And you know what? They ain't hard to find. And they've already came. I mean, did you see the kids in here today? I mean, this has to be one of the biggest recruiting days in the history of Colorado football, and I'm ecstatic about it. I mean, I've been in the office, and I can't wait to get off the field so I can get back up and get back to the recruiting. And it's not that we're not promising anything or giving them anything, but opportunity and telling them the truth. We have no gimmick and no game. We just spin straight truth and facts.
You brought the hype and the heat. You've also made Colorado a target, which I know you're used to at Jackson State, but there's no coach in the world wants to lose a game to you, and nobody is going to take the Buffaloes for granted.
That's right. What is the definition of a target? I've been that way all my life since I came out the womb, right? They've been at us, right, RG?
Yep, they've been at us forever.
Hey, like I said, ain't hard to find. And you really don't understand what this comes with.
Right.
And I love every minute of it.
Yeah.
And I got some dogs coming.
Yeah,
Jesus,
so
I got some
you
dogs
talk
coming.
about that. You did that at Jackson State. You
Yes,
go in
sir.
and you turn that program around. But when you came out here for the spring game, you weren't expecting to have to step on snow out here in April, were you?
No, not whatsoever. But the thing about it, it's going to be 51 tomorrow. It's going to be 51 and sunny tomorrow. I was actually thinking about, okay, let's move this thing to Sunday, or let's go indoors in one of the several fields that we have. And it's a beautiful thing. But Rick suggested, hey, man, these fans are wonderful. And I agreed, let's go ahead and do it. And we did it.
Enjoy your summer. We can't wait to see what unfolds in 2023 for the Busmen.
Baby, we are coming.
That message has been delivered from the start, RG3. It's been wild. We roll with it as well. I've enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was an amazing.